There's a story today in Fox Business on their website about how some businesses, many businesses in Oakland, are getting rid of accepting cash because of all the crime that's been going on. It makes them targets. Yet at the same time, here in Washington, in King County, thanks to Gene Cole-Wells, a King County council member, they're moving forward to mandate that businesses in unincorporated King County, the ones who are most at risk of crime without an immediate police response, forcing them to accept cash. Joining me on the line to discuss is Matthew Patrick Thomas, King County Republican Party chairman. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me on again, Jason.
You know, I think of this in terms of law enforcement. It's obviously going to take a lot longer to get into unincorporated King County than it would in, a city that has its own police force. It feels like we're just making these businesses into sitting targets.
Absolutely. And again, this is another example of the left not looking at the reality of what's happening on the ground throughout Washington State, actually the West Coast. The crime's out of control, and now they're going to put policies in place that puts targets on the backs of all small businesses in unincorporated King County.
What do you think is the reason behind this push? I know that Gene Cole-Wells makes it an argument around equity. Is this really an argument about equity?
No, I mean, if you look at the statistics on it, most the society is moving away from cash transactions, and as far as equity, it's the major grocery stores, what do you got? Safeway out there and the likes. They already accept cash and payments like that. So or debit card payments. This is going to really hurt the small businesses such as mom and pop shops, restaurants, and hotels. And again, having cash on hand makes you a target. We can even see examples of this with the marijuana industry in Washington State and all the crime that targeted them. There's examples right there. So, hey, Gene Cole-Wells, what's your argument against that?
Exactly. And, it would be one thing if maybe at the same time they were recommitting to not just fully funding the King County Sheriff's Office, but putting into place legislation that allows them to do their jobs. And it feels like the opposite is occurring.
Yep. Fuel the fire, and just another example of the left being clueless in this town. And I would say the difference between the right and the left is the right just wants to be left alone. We're good to go here. And the left we want to tell you how to do everything. So put your seatbelt on, take your vaccine, make sure you wear that helmet over there and smoke 25 feet over there. Oh, and now make sure you have cash on hand late at night, too, for your one employee has to go home and lock the door up and now has a huge target on their head.
Yeah, we've been seeing all of these overnight shops, coffee shops, and 7-Elevens getting targeted all around. And it's not even just King County. And they do that at a time when there is only one worker on the premises.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And again, that's so frustrating, too, to see government in Washington State and now in King County that does not care about the citizens or the needs of the people. They make up these false narratives that this is a major problem. It's not a major problem. People are still going to get their food, and let the free market decide. If that store doesn't offer cash payments, go to one that does.
Well, and of course, they make the argument about homeless people not being able to shop at these stores because they don't have credit cards. And to your point, there are lots of options for the homeless people to go. The fact that we're putting this on unincorporated King County businesses, whereas in Seattle, that's not the rule. Bellevue, that's not the rule. Redmond.
Absolutely. And again, this puts the undue burden and cost on the small business owner. And it's just one thing after another. And there's a cost to doing that. Do they have to hire security? They have to pay the employee extra money to go get cash in the morning and take cash home at night. Then you got the concerns about, the theft. So, can government just stay out of the way and just let the small business community and the free market decide the policies? So please listen, King County Council. This is just not right.
Yeah, something tells me they're not going to listen, right? I mean, at the end of the day, when you were on the show last, we talked about the importance of people stepping up and running. Unless we make changes, we're just not going to see these arguments going our way. We don't have the votes. You have Reagan Dunn, who's the only consistent conservative on the King County Council. It's not going to happen unless we make changes, correct?
Absolutely. And again, your viewers listening, I don't think you can go to a grocery store this year and not see someone stealing left and right. I've seen it probably 5 times this year. Someone in with a duffel bag, loading up their merchandise and walking out the door with it. So now you're going to go, okay, come in. We're not going to prosecute that person. Let them steal stuff. But also, you know what we're going to do? We're going to make sure you have cash on hand there. We can have them rob you as well. So these policies are insane. Let the business owners and the business community and the free market decide. All for that. And please fund our law enforcement and support law enforcement and make policies and procedures to protect small business so we can thrive in Washington State and not leave in droves, because businesses are leaving Washington State and King County because it's a death by 1,000 paper cuts. And so it's my broken window. I'm getting ripped off now every day. Now I got these new requirements to do this, and that, and who knows what the next one they're going to come out with. But it's nonstop. It has to stop.
But we do know there will be a next one, and a next one after that, and the next one after that, which is why it is so important to vote, but also incredibly important to step up and donate some time or money on these campaigns. We've been talking with Matthew Patrick Thomas. He's the chairman of the King County GOP, their website, kcgop.org. Go there right now to find ways how you can give back to the party in King County. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you, Jason. You're a hero of ours, so keep up the great work.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You're listening to The Jason Rantz Show.